What up, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys day number 28 in my 13th annual 31 Days of Horror, a series in which we watch and review 31 horror films in 31 days, all during the month of October, leading right up to Halloween, and continuing along here with today's review, which is just insane. So, I had watched this movie last night for review today. And I go to work this morning and I see Moods uploaded a video for his day number 28, and it's this movie, which is just crazy because we did not talk about it, had no clue we were reviewing it, and we both just randomly decided to review it for day 28, which is just, I mean, it's absolutely crazy. Like, out of the thousands of movies we have, we both picked the same movie for 28, which isn't even like a super common movie. But that movie in question is the film Shreck from the year 1990. They commanded Max to rise from the grave. He was only following orders. So, yeah, this is a shot-on-video horror film here. And it basically follows these kids who are big horror fans, and they're out into all this weird Nazi stuff. So basically they are hanging out, watching old Nazi speeches from Hitler, and they actually have some I believe stock footage of like concentration camps and stuff like that, and they're really into this specific Nazi named Max Shreck, who may or may not have got his name from the German actor who played Nosferatu in the original Murnau film. Now, whenever I read the synopsis of this, I thought that Max Shreck was like a real Nazi, but it's fictional. There was I think Julius Shreck, who was a Nazi, that maybe that's where the name came from, not sure. But this fictional Nazi basically escaped Germany in World War II and moved to the U.S. in Wisconsin, maybe, where he became a serial killer and eventually was gunned down. And the house that this kid lives in was the house that Max Shreck used to live in. And so they decided to do a little seance and see if they could resurrect Max Shreck just for some fun. But it turns out that it was actually the anniversary of his death day on the day that they were doing the seance. So it actually does resurrect Max Shreck. And he basically goes on a killing spree, and they have to stop him, and it's like sort of like a siege film. That's basically your plot. This movie is definitely a wild one. First of all, like, all the Nazi stuff is a bit crazy. Like, they have like this these like Christmas light type things like in the background that's shaped into the swastika. They actually have a pizza that the pepperoni shaped in a swastika. It's just very weird that like these dudes are into like this Nazi guy, where it's like, it's kind of like, this really wouldn't fly today, gentlemen. I mean, it wouldn't probably fly back then either, but you know, I don't necessarily think that these kids are supposed to be like Nazis or like in favor of Nazism. I just think that they're like sort of like edgy, and this guy lived in their house, and they're kind of just like into the craziness of it, and not really putting a lot of like thought into the actual real world events that cost millions their lives and just horrible atrocities. Like, I don't think they're really like, you know, they're kind of like dumb kids, not really like thinking deeply about it. At least that's the only way I could kind of make an excuse for it. But this Max Shreck character has like these like camo garments, and then this like gas mask and stuff. Looks kind of cool. There's also like a ton of like blue filter used in this, with like some quick edits and stuff. And although I thought it was like kind of cool, I did think it went on a little bit too long and happened again in the film. And I think that it would have worked just as like a little section of it, but I feel like it went on a bit too long. But it was kind of cool looking. I just felt like they overused it. What else? There's actually a really, really funny thing in the movie where I had the subtitles on, and there's a section where they're watching old Hitler speeches, and he's just like, I'm whatever, you know, and just yelling and shit. And on the subtitles, it said Hitler, and then in parentheses, it said Hitlering. So like Hitler is Hitlering. That's what the hearing impaired people are getting aware of what's happening. Hitler is Hitlering, which I just get. Whoever did the subtitles is like super funny for that. Yeah, it's a shot on video film. There's some like okay gore sequences in it. I really just like how absurd the whole idea is that like there's into this Nazi guy and they resurrect him. It's just like wild. Like nobody would make a movie like this today with the subject matter. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty fun. Not like the best movie in the world, but total like do it yourself type movie. I think a few of these guys went on to work on some Full Moon. Yeah. Don Adams and Harry Picardi went on to do some like Full Moon stuff, I believe, according to the back of the case here. It says 75 minutes on here, but I feel like it was 80 minutes. So I think it's a little bit longer than the back of the case says. I'm not sure if there was like a extra cut, like longer cut, that was, you know, this release or not. But with that said, I'll go ahead and give it a 6 out of 10. Pretty fun.